Recently, I just found out today that we've had a rash of petty auto theft and criminal damage to property in my neighborhood. My neighbor across the street had some items stolen out of his car. My car had about $850 worth of keystrokes piled into the side of clear coat paint today, or last night. So make sure that you keep your vehicles locked, and if you can light up your driveways and make it a little less friendly. I mean, it'll be just something for you to think about, because that's been going on here. I mean, I had police come over and take a report after 4, the estimate from the body shop. They're going to request for some additional patrols here at Officer Madden. This, you know, it's springtime, kids will be out there, they're going to be pulling handles on doors looking for something to grab their cash at Trader Joe's or, you know, the local pawn shop. So this is something to pay attention to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Also, just want to remind, since we're talking about public safety, and this is going out in the newsletter, and it will be on the website. May 19th, we have a duo event. We're having the bike path ribbon cutting ceremony. You know, our bike path extension was completed in late November, so it didn't really give us an opportunity to have a ceremony. We're going to have a brief ceremony that morning with the Lake County officials, and I hope all of you can attend. We'll have a brief ceremony. We've invited Margaret Busage, who is one of our residents who is rightfully very vocal about getting the bike path done, and I know she utilizes it all the time, so I'm always happy to see Margaret going down the path. We will also have a tent available with Wally has obtained rules of the road books and other information tips from the Secretary of State regarding bicycle safety.
What time is that going to be?
Sure.
Yeah, that's going to be, the event will be right across from the Village Hall, and then we'll have Mobileye meeting us across the street here. 9 o'clock will be the ribbon cutting. And the tent will be available for about an hour. We'll have refreshments. We're selling our bike helmets at a reduced price for that event. We're going to have free Hainesville water bottles available, so you won't die of thirst when you're out on your bike ride. And then that same day, 8 to 12, at our Public Works building, we're having our first Swalco electronic recycling drop-off event. So we're very excited to see how that goes. We made it very convenient now for our residents. They don't have to drive to the next town or 5 towns away. They can come over here, you can drop off your old TVs, your computers, your old fax machines. There is a detailed list that's going out in the newsletter, and again will be on the website, that tells you all the wonderful things you can bring and the things that you should not bring. And then I always encourage you to go to the Swalco website. It is a wealth of information. It's that's the Solid Waste Agency of Lake County organization, and it's swalco.org. And they can tell you where there's household chemical drop-offs going on. We try to post the local ones on our website on a regular basis, but always good tips on there.
Are you having the press come?
Yes, there'll be a press release done as well.
Okay, I thought maybe we might get a photographer out or something.
Typically we request one. That doesn't mean they always show up, and if they don't, we'll take our pictures and forward them to the papers. Sussengera, yeah.
Yeah, is the one that's for Hainesville.
Yeah, we're talking about quite a bit.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments, Wally? I didn't mean to horn in here.
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, wetlands and open spaces, Trustee Duberstein.
As well as Jeff mentioned, we're getting fountains put in this summer. There's an article in the newsletter. In the past several years, we've been devoting our attention to clearing things out of the village, getting rid of the buckthorn, the sandbar willows, the weeds, trying to make the ponds more visible so you can have a pretty view. So this year we're putting things in, and we're going to have fountains that will not only be pretty, but will work to reduce the algae, which means that there will be less chemicals and less cost involved in keeping the ponds clean. There will be additional flowers put in at the entrances, and at the Village Hall. There's a whole list of things that we're adding this year. A bench and a trash can over at Cranberry Lake, and we hope you all enjoy the additions. Other things, the garage, the garage sale is set for July 28th and 29th. And there's all the information you need about it will be in this newsletter. What you need to do to sign up, what you need to do when it's done. Let's see what else. Another hat. I think that covers it pretty much.
Community Relations, Trustee Darrenowski.
Well, we met 2 weeks ago about the ribbon cutting ceremony, and we are rapidly approaching Hainesville Fest. We have a couple more months. We, as Kathy mentioned, we did do, they did a phenomenal job getting all those letters out. We are going to have some follow-up calls made by a nice resident who is helping us out with the event, and we are also up to $8,600 in sponsorship dollars. So
Actually, $8,700. I think we just got a $100 check, so we're at $8,700.
$8,700, so that's even better. So I think we're doing a phenomenal job with that, and I'm very excited this year for Hainesville Fest. So that's all I have.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, and we do thank all of our businesses, and we thank Ansel Link, we thank Manhard, they've already left, but for their donations of support that we've already received for Hainesville Fest. We thank you very much. Okay, under business, first item up is an ordinance amending section 5.08.060 of the Village Code and establishing authority for the Liquor Commissioner to require liquor licensees who violated the Village of Hainesville's liquor code to reimburse the village for costs incurred in holding the Liquor Commission hearing.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Ordinance 12-5-160. Motion carried.
Next ordinance up is actually a mandated ordinance that Ansel made us aware of, that we actually have no choice but to adopt. It's an ordinance adopting a service animal policy, mobility device policy, and grievances procedure in accordance with the American with Disabilities Act.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried. Ordinance 12-5-161.
Business item 3 was put on the agenda by myself after having met with Jeff Gately and then also consulting with our attorney, Jim Rock. We decided to recommend foregoing the bid process since we had such low participation in the last bid. And Dave Schultz has, for quite a number of years, always come in as the lowest bid. And of course, we've always been very happy with his work. So legally, we can give an approval of a 1-year extension for the 2012-2013 winter season snow and ice removal contract. The rate, and particularly the rate if the price of gas goes over $5 is clearly stated. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I think it's a smart thing that we got Dave to lock in these prices and hedge our fuel costs. I'm fighting that battle every day right now in the transportation industry. It's a good thing.
Good. Okay, item 4, I had heard back from all the trustees. I had brought this up at our last board meeting, making a recommendation that for the months of June, July, and August, we consider canceling the first regular board meeting of the month and only meet once that month, which would fall on the fourth Tuesday of each month, and that would allow the treasurer to provide a full bills payable report. Do we have a motion for approval?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Jarnowski.
Aye.
Priest.
Aye.
Duberstein. Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Okay, item number 5 is an ordinance amending the section 15.24.040 of the Village Code and establishing color regulations for chain link fences. There wasn't a lot of time or language added to produce this, and I asked Jim Rock to move forward. I had a concern expressed by a trustee, but also several residents as well. But I've also gotten other feedback as well from trustees, and I see everyone's point, so I know we're going to have discussion on this. But do we want to make a motion at this time?
We have to move it before we can discuss
I
it.
move, I so move.
Second.
Okay. Discussion. Want to go down the line, start with you, John, and we'll just go down the table?
I handed out, did a little handout, a little research from Lowe's about the cost of putting a color requirement on the chain link fencing. If we look, the 4 foot tall, and I did all 3 the same as best I could so that we can make sure that it was fair to look at. You'll actually notice that the chain link fence in the middle is actually an 11 gauge, which is, and the other 2 are 9 gauges, so that's the only difference.
Well, and all our chain link has to be 11 gauge. There's no 9 gauge allowed.
Well, then they're,
More expensive.
yeah, it would be even more expensive for the vinyl coated one. So the vinyl coated one, the black vinyl coated one is going to be $18.16 more, and the green one is going to be $19.06 more per roll for the chain link fence. And number one, we don't live in a homeowners association, so I don't see how we can regulate what color. And if we do want to regulate a color, I would like to add an amendment that we have to make orange also available, because it's my favorite color. So I don't, and I just want to be a little flippant, but I don't see where we can regulate what color people's fences are, especially given the sense that it's going to cost more. And from everyone I hear on this board that we are looking to save the residents money, to then turn around and make them pay more to put in a fence whose primary function is for safety of children, pets, what have you, is absolutely ludicrous to me. And I will fight until this meeting is over to make sure that this does not pass, because I think it's wrong, and I think it's overreaching by far our regulations as a village. If we lived in the homeowners association, we could then say, you have to have this because this is something that people sign on coming into the association. We do not, so therefore we should not be allowed to regulate the color of somebody's fence. I think it's just way overreaching and overstepping.
Okay, Wally, you're next up.
Basically, I agree with what John said. Another thing is part of the language which states here, okay, that if you're doing a repair, you have to replace that repair with the vinyl. Well, if he only does an 8-foot section, what are you going to do? You're going to have all galvanized and then an 8-foot section?
Doesn't it have to be if only 50% or more is required to repair?
Not the way I read it.
That's the way I read it.
That's not the way
I
it's
thought that's
written.
what we discussed.
Basically,
Yeah.
it says effective May 19, 2012, this color provision shall apply to any repair.
Yeah, but you gotta go
But then there's,
Yeah, it does, the next page.
You gotta go back to the next page where it talks about.
Oh, I didn't see the next page. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's only if
If
you're
you're repairing
replacing more than half
half
the
of the
fence.
fence.
So then you could have half galvanized and half vinyl coated.
No.
I'm gonna do it again.
So
if you have to repair or replace 51% or more, then the whole thing would have to be
I didn't see anything.
Yeah. No, we would not make somebody change something
Yeah.
for a minor repair.
I didn't see it, but I didn't see it continue on the top.